Couple of important things that I wanted to discuss. Post your questions. I will get to as many as I possibly can. I want to answer as many as I can. I have a big, large cappuccino ready, so we're going to stay a while. One more thing I wanted to show you. This was a gift from my son, Philip. He got me this little cup. It's like a teacup that supposedly stirs stuff, but the stirring didn't work very well, so I'm using it for my markers. Thank you, Philip. All right, so a couple of things I wanted to discuss. Number one is first 7 days. Here we are. First week is behind us of this year. How are you doing? Now, some of you are doing really well. Some of you are getting great results. Now, let me show you a couple to inspire you, to show you that there's business out there, there are clients out there, things are working if you're working. So here's the first one. This is from Rebecca. I posted earlier that I made a FSBO call that resulted in an appointment. I purchased the system, the FSBORINO system, right before Christmas, and I've been studying it. Today's calls were the first calls I have made to a FSBO using the system. Never called FSBO before. Here it is. Wow, what a difference this process makes. I had an appointment to visit today for 2 homes, same family, and I have an appointment on Thursday. Everyone I talked to were really nice as opposed to previous attempts to talk to FSBO using other approaches. I am actually excited to call tomorrow. Thanks, Borino. I'm looking forward to learning from everyone in this group. Here's to 2018. The reason I want to show you this is we tend to sometimes overthink shit. We overthink it, we overcomplicate things, and it is that little bastard, the drunken monkey, that can make things pretty difficult and challenging at times. Even someone like Rebecca, kudos to you, Rebecca, by the way, well done. Can get the system, study it a little bit, practice a little bit, you're out there getting appointments very quickly. It can be done. It's possible. There's business out there, and you can do this. Now, the reason I'm so adamant, and I'm so hype on you, and I so grind that you've got to work with high probability leads is because it is the fastest way to get appointments, to get clients, to get listings, to get commissions. See, there are 2 games in real estate. There's a short game and there's a long game. They're both good. They both are part of your toolbox. They're both part of your approach. They both will get you business. It's just 2 different paths. Now, let me show you what I mean. There are basically 2 ways you generate business. There's active methods and passive methods. Passive method means you send a hook out there, you drop the hook in the water, and you hope for the fish to nibble. So let's say you run a campaign on Facebook to attract clients, to attract business. That's a passive method because you don't directly control how many people will see your ad, how many people respond to it, how much business you're going to get out of it. You can hope, but there is no direct way of controlling it. That's a passive method. It's also a long-term. Because on average, from the moment you run your ad here, and this is just an example, there are many other methods, but this seems to be very common, and it is effective. But you just need to be aware before you start plucking money in it, and before you start investing time in it, that you're playing a passive, long-term game. So you run your ad here, and let's say you run that ad for 14 days, and you collect few leads. So this is your 14-day window. And you got a few leads. Fantastic. They go into your CRM. Now the game of follow-up begins. And you follow up, you have different touches, emails, phone calls, maybe texts. You send them something in the mail, all the way to a point where you meet with them. That's the appointment. Okay? Then there is a listing, and then there is close. That's where you get the dollars. Okay? Now, my numbers are based on the feedback I get from you guys, different areas, different conditions, different circumstances. Your numbers will be very different. Of course, I have no way of guaranteeing or promising or even knowing what your numbers are. But to illustrate my point, I'll give you what I know from the people who are using the system. In 14 days, you can generate a nice amount of leads. And if you do this ongoing, that's good. But this whole process, on average, takes about 400 days. From the time you secure the lead, to the time they respond, to the time you, through follow-up, develop enough trust, and they are ready to make the move. They are ready to talk to an agent, set up an appointment, list the property, and get it sold, on average, can take about 400 days. That's a long game. If you door knock, you're going to get a lot of leads who will tell you things like, yeah, we'll be ready in about a year. We'll be ready when my husband retires. We'll be ready when my wife gets that new job. We're going to get transferred to Atlanta. Or we're going to move closer to our kids in Florida. It's a long-term game, long game. So you got to be ready that a lot of these campaigns will cost you some money, and a good Facebook campaign will set you back a few $100s a month. Or if you hire somebody to do it for you, the cost can be from $500 to a few $1,000s. So the investment you have there is time and money. As far as effort, it's not that hard. Meaning it doesn't require a lot of work, an hours of work. One thing you got to do is first learn yourself how this works, otherwise you're going to burn through a lot of cash and not get shit. And two, then later, if you start scaling it, you hand it off to somebody. But you still need to know how it works so that the feedback and the communication you're getting back from the company running it for you, or person running it for you, you know that you're not getting scammed, you're getting decent results. Does that make sense so far? So this is the long-term game. It is part of your business. My recommendation, if you want to stay in this business and be profitable, it should be part of it. But no more than 30% of your time, money, and effort should be spent on long-term game, on a game like this, on passive methods like this. You want to put a big billboard ad, you want to run print advertising, you want to run direct mail campaigns, all that is long-term game that will require pretty decent amount of time before you see some results. Okay? So that's one. Then as opposed to a short-term game like Rebecca. Short-term game, the advantage you have with a short-term game, you skipping this part, which is them mentally, sometimes physically, getting ready to get the property sold. There are circumstances or conditions, or they're just mentally not at that point where they want to move. This is generating high probability leads. Now the difference is they're already in this process, so you jump in it a lot later. So instead of drawing it like this, I should actually put it here. Because you're skipping all this, you're starting here. Okay? So this is the acquisition, this is the appointment, this is the list, and this is the sale. Now, in many instances, and this vary again, and your numbers will vary, your mileage will vary, but this can be as little as 60 days. As a matter of fact, some of you saw me do the interview with FSBOR. Remember that? I talked to the guys in FSBOR, I talked to the CEO of FSBOR actually. And what they told us, that from the time a for sale by owner hits FSBOR, which is a website, it's like Zillow, not like Zillow, but it's like forsalebyowner.com or FSBO.com, where FSBOs come to advertise their properties. From the time they hit the site to the time they list, they measured it's 31 days. 70% of for sale by owners list in 31 days. So it's a much shorter window. Now, there are two advantages to this process. Advantage number one, it's of course a lot shorter than the long game. So you don't invest as much time. Sometimes you do, and sometimes the follow-up does require months of follow-up. So be it, but it's usually on average shorter. That's advantage number one. Advantage number two, it's usually not that expensive. You don't need to invest hundreds and hundreds of dollars every month to keep that sucker going. The disadvantage, and the reason many agents avoid high probability leads and short game, is because it requires effort, it requires practice, it requires good communication, you're dealing with rejection and people's emotions. Now, a good rock star, people like you guys, combine these two, and you have a profitable business model. All you need is 4 good funnels that you set up. They are bringing these leads in. They are feeding it into your CRM, where you communicate with them, you're keeping in touch with them, send them nice postcards like that. You call them once in a while, you text them, you send them a video, you send them an email, you send them a market update. You maybe even visit them in person, say hello, drop something off. You have a nice, strong, connected relationship. Boom, you got an appointment, you got a listing. Does that make sense? So now, the reason I'm bringing all this up is so many, especially newer agents, just kind of drive blind. There's very little planning, there's very little thought to it, they're just kind of all over the place. And partially because there are so many gurus and agents and experts offering magic answers, shortcuts, silver bullets, magic pills. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. Not in this business. It's a combination of knowing the right stuff, building the right skills, having the right mindset, and working your ass off. That's the whole secret. You got it for free from your coach BORINO right here. So what I would encourage you to do, here we are at the beginning of 2018. And this is going to tie in together where we started. Put together a simple plan. Where am I going to get my leads? Where are they going to come from? Don't improvise, don't jump all over the place. Don't be the jack of all trades, master of none. You got to master this shit. The difference between 2016, 2017, and 2018 is there'll be higher demand for your marketing skills. There'll be higher demand and bigger necessity in order for you to be profitable and successful to master some of these skills. One of those skills you need to have is lead generation. You got to know how to get these on a daily basis, and they need to be systemized. This cannot be improvised. This cannot be just let's try this and let's do a little bit of that and open a house here and this there and a few postcards there and a little boosted post there. Won't work. It needs to be very focused, very orchestrated, very diligent, disciplined, and relentless effort to get to your leads. Make sense? Are you guys with me? Now, so you set up these funnels. And then you monitor what's bringing leads, what's working. This is why I posted, where are you the first 7 days? Because if you're hoping that 2018 will be different than 17 and 16, it can only be different if you start changing these things. If your plans change, if your funnels change, if your approach changes, and if your mindset changes. That's the secret. That's how you do it. Come up with a simple plan. How am I going to get there? How am I going to get there? What are the steps and what are the vehicles that will get me there? How do I combine the long game, the active and passive methods to get me the leads I need, to get me the appointments I need, to get me the listings I need, to the dollars I need? One problem that I see, especially with the long game, especially with this, is people get distracted and misled by false data. If you make a post, let's say it's a boosted post, and you get 700 likes, you go, fuck, look at me, I'm a total rock star. And I say, so what? What does that mean? If you get a campaign that generates you 200 leads, I say, so what? What does it mean? It is not a true measure. It's just one of those milestones. It's just a milestone on the path here. What really counts, and the way you really know something works, is the dollars at the end. How many listings and how many dollars it generated. That's the only way. So don't get misguided, don't get bamboozled, and don't get fooled, or you don't make a mistake measuring a campaign's performance strictly by number of likes or number of leads. That's just a milestone. It is the number of dollars and it is the quality of the leads that turn into a clients and listings and commissions. That is the measuring stick. That's it. Does that make sense? Yes? Everybody happy? All right, good. Okay. Let's see what you say. Eva says, happy birthday. Well, thank you so much. It's been 6-7 weeks ago, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anna says, hello, Borino from Austin, Texas. Appreciate your ideas and motivation. Mr. Joe says, use a combination of long and short term. Exactly. That's exactly the right idea, Joe. That's what I'm talking about. Hold on, let me move this just a little bit to the left. Let me adjust it. And there you go. That will look better. Yep. Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Hello, Borino from Austin, Texas. Love Austin, Texas. Appreciate your ideas and motivation. Hey, Coach. Hey, Mr. Elias. Always good to see you. Deborah says, I was in your class last year. I gave up too soon and I tried to do things my way. Expensive and dumb mistake. That's okay. Lesson learned. Hey, sometimes we got to learn, you know. I made a lot of dumb mistakes. Don't worry about it. Everybody does. 2017, I made a bit of a living, but I want to be a rock star. 2018 is the year that I will work smarter, create daily rituals, Tony Robbins, fantastic, and recreate myself and my business. What daily rituals should I must do in order to succeed? Thank you. Whoa, what a great question. What a great question. And the reason I'm really excited you asked this, who came this for? Deborah, right? Am I right? Yeah, Deborah Duran. Great question, Deborah. Very, 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 very appropriate question. Last week I finished the book, The Path from Dreams to Reality, which will be the first chapter of the upcoming coaching program that we're launching on the 29th. Most of your life is spent on autopilot. Most of our behaviors, our actions, the things we do on a daily basis, nothing but an autopilot. Now, in many cases, that's really good. Because think about it this way. Imagine you wake up in the morning and you have to physically, practically, mentally think, how do I brush my teeth? So you have to tell your brain, okay, I need to grab the toothpaste. You got to put it on a toothbrush. Now insert to mouth, open mouth, insert, scrub right, scrub center, scrub left. Every step would have to be consciously thought about, guided. We'd go crazy. We go nuts, right? So very often these autopilots help us. The way you drive, the way you do certain things, it's cool to have habits. Where the problem occurs is when these habits take over the behavior that doesn't serve you. So what I mean by that? Let's say you want to call an expired listing. It's a good listing, you want to get in touch. You pick up the phone and suddenly that little voice says, dude, you're not ready. And look at it, they've been on the market for 400 days, they're not motivated. And besides, you still haven't responded to that email that's been sitting in your inbox, and I'm getting hungry, let's go get a sandwich. Can you relate to that? The reason I know it so well because I was a master of this shit. And the little monkey voice will talk you out of it. Now you have a habit. Now you're entrenching certain behavior that doesn't serve you. Now, the monkey means well. The brain, which is, by the way, the concept of the drunken monkey goes back to Buddha. Buddha was the first one on a recorded history that is talking about the monkey chatter in your brain that's over 2,000 years old. So it's not new. Not new to humankind, not special just to you. We all have that. And it means well. Because the monkey brain, which is really the crocodile brain, the croc brain is part of our neurobiology that goes back about 285 million years, is to protect you. Because your habits come from that brain telling you it's going to be dangerous, it's painful, let's not do this. Even though long term, you put yourself in much bigger harm. It's not a good decision long term. But if your brain, if that monkey brain, has to decide between harm now and harm a year from now, it will avoid the harm now. That's why we have the avoidance behavior. That's why many of the habits that you have and rituals you have are based on these inputs that we get from our croc brain to avoid pain, to avoid rejection, to avoid something that's uncomfortable. That's the bad news. The good news is you can change. You can change quickly, you can make permanent changes, you can make changes that serve you. New Year. How many of you joined the gym for the New Year? Any of you? I went back to yoga, started doing it again, had a class yesterday, it was really awesome. But you notice how the gyms get crowded around January, from about January 1st to about January 30th. And then it kind of fades out. Why is that? New Year's resolution, right? I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to make more money. I'm going to be more successful. All these resolutions, which in itself is great, that we use this ritual of something new that will give us the opportunity to start again. That part is great. But where people get stuck is they try to implement new habits and new behavior in a way that doesn't work. How do you know that? Look at the gym in February, March. Back to pretty much the same crowd, right? You notice that? Notice the results real estate agents get. It's pretty much the same crowd. It's usually around 90 to 95% of the people make most of the money year in, year out. And a big part of that is mental game. Biggest chunk of your success is a mental game. It's these rituals that you have. So let me give you some points and some helpful tips. I talk about it a lot. The whole book is about it. You're going to get it as part of Path. It's the first package you're going to get from us, is we're going to talk about your mind game. How to succeed, how to reprogram your mind for money and for success. So when you do come aboard, you're going to get, it's a manual, it's like a workbook that has a lot of exercises and tips. It's about 110 pages. Fairly quick read, you should go through it one afternoon. A lot of insights. But let me give you some tips to change these habits, to be more productive, but to also feel good. Because if you push too much, like so many people in the gym, and you see these guys, right? I was one of them. I was one of those idiots. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get buffed. I'm going to push. So I got that bar, and I was going to do chest press. So I loaded it up, put it on the bench, put it on top of me, laid down, took it down, and it fell down on my chest. I couldn't move. No joke. I could not lift that fucking thing. And I was stuck. And the last thing you want to do is ask for help. I got an ego. I'm a dude. I'm not like, come on, somebody help me. I could barely breathe. The fucking thing was crushing my chest. Until I tipped it to one side and the weights fell down, making such a ruckus. They made so much noise that the entire gym just was like, what happened? And I was the idiot going, yeah. Too much. So let me give you, as a matter of fact, let's write it down. Let's put this on the board to help you with the daily rituals. How to get you on track so that you reach your goals faster, you're having a good time doing it, and it's not a struggle. Yeah? That's what we're going to talk about real quick. So, tip number one, decide on a huge why. Why do you want to prospect? Why do you want to make a lot of money? Why do you want to help people? Be very specific. Be very diligent when it comes to analyzing what's in it for you. And I will offer you 3 whys that you need to decide. Why that's specifically for you. You want to get a new nice watch? Awesome. That's a good why. Nobody has the right to tell you that's right, that's wrong. It's your life. You decide what matters to you. Want to get a new Benz? Perfect. Hannah's been talking about getting a new Maserati. All right, cool. That's a great why. That excites you. Pick something that pleases you. Pick something that excites you. Pick something that inspires you. Pick something that you can't wait to get out of bed in the morning to get closer to that goal, whatever that is. You want to go visit Machu Picchu? Fantastic. Love that idea. You want to travel? One of our goals this year, my goal that I wanted to do is we wanted to rent a little house in Tuscany for 2 weeks. One of those little villas, on the hill in Tuscany. We're already planning it. I'm so excited about it. So something that pleases you. Second, your family, people around you, people who depend on you, people who look up to you, people who would benefit from the wealth and the abundance you're creating. Come up with specific things that would please them, that would make them happy, that would make their life better. Is it a good college for your kids? Is it a vacation with your spouse? Is it something you want to do for your parents? Whatever it is, good answer. If it inspires you, if it makes your heart flutter, that's the right answer. And the third one is for the world around you. How will you benefit the world around you? That includes doing a good job for your clients. This industry, unfortunately, is so fucked up with so many incompetent crooks and people who just don't belong here. How will you contribute? Will you support a charity? Whatever it is, whatever excites you, whatever makes you passionate is the right answer. Pick a big why. This will make the habits a lot easier to implement and change your behavior. Once you know, this is why I'm doing it, this is why it matters to me. And this is why not getting it. Imagine going to your kid and saying, you know what, you don't matter to me a whole lot, so that college, forget about it. I'd rather watch TV than go prospect. I'd rather fuck around on Facebook than provide good education for you. Try that. Try that on for size. You know what I mean? Can't do that. So pick nice goals, pick exciting things, and by things I mean anything, experiences, people, whatever your income and your success and your wealth will contribute to. You, the people around you, your family, and the world, including your clients. Set a big why. Number 2, start small. Start small. Identify maybe 2 or 3 things. I would like to change the way I, let's say, prospect for sole by owners. You saw Rebecca earlier, made a few phone calls, got appointments. If she follows up diligently, they will turn into listings, money, successful clients, happy people. Okay? Start small. Identify maybe 2, maybe 3 things that you want to change. 2 or 3 simple things. So let's pick one. Let's say, I want to get better and make it a habit of calling for sole by owners daily. So set a simple goal, small goal. 1 a day. Can you send 1 email a day? Let me tell you a secret how I want to get back in the shape. I tried many times and I failed many times. But here is a new approach that I read about, and it so far has been really cool and a lot of fun. Every time I go to the bathroom to pee, I do 3 push-ups. That's it. Can you do 3 push-ups? Well, I'm like, fuck yeah, I can do 20, 25, no big deal. But if I set a goal, 25, 30, exercise, do it 2 hours a day, every day, of course I'm going to quit. It's too much. But can I do 3 push-ups 5, 6 days a week? So 6 times a day? Of course I can. No big deal. Start small. Can you contact 1 for sole by owner every day? Just 1, maybe a little email, phone call, text, whatever. Is that doable? The answer is yes. And then it's going to start snowballing. Now you get the routine going. Now you say, well, heck, if I can do 1, I can do 2. Then you do 2. But you always go back to just 1. That's your minimum. So set a minimum, but make it so easy, so simple, that it's a no-brainer, that you know I'm going to stick with it. Because what you're changing, it's not just a behavioral pattern. What you're changing is also the perception you have about yourself, your self-image. You understand what I'm saying? So if you start shifting from, well, I used to be that agent, who sometimes does it, but sometimes don't, I can be flaky, and I cannot 100% commit, to, yeah, if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to fucking do it. If I commit, I'm going to stick with it. Your self-image will start shifting how you see yourself, how you perceive yourself, and it will impact every other behavior. That's 2. 3, make a simple plan. You know what helps me go to yoga? I have twice a week yoga, twice a week pre-core, 1 long walk once a week. So I exercise 5 days a week. I do something healthy. I put it in my calendar. I pre-plan it. It's in my calendar, so I know it's scheduled. Next yoga will be, I believe it's Thursday. I need to check my calendar. But it's there. So it's visible. I have a record of it. I will most likely complete it, or not most likely. I will complete it because it's in my calendar. I commit to it. So make a simple plan. What are you going to do? When are you going to do it? What and when. Simple. I'm going to contact for sale by owners and I block out 20 minutes Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That'd be a cool, simple little plan. I'm going to contact one expired listing a day, just drive there, drop off a package, find the time where I have the best chance to talk to them. If they're there, I'm going to chat with them. If not, no big deal. I'll just leave a package follow-up. One a day. Simple plan. Simple plan. Number 4, evaluate. After 7 days, look back. Is it working? Am I on track? Am I changing this behavior? Is it getting me closer to my goals? Is it working? Can I improve it? Number 5, set up a reward. So let's say you set a goal. I'm going to contact one for sale by owner 3 times a week, and I'm going to do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Simple goal, easy to achieve. You're going to put it on your calendar. You have your big why. It's a small step. Evaluate. Yes, I can do this. Set up a reward. If I contact one for sale by owner Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to treat myself and my spouse to a lovely dinner. We're going to go to a specific place, something I enjoy, and it's going to be pre-planned. Next, number 6, set up a consequence or punishment. If I don't do it, I'm going to eat a can of cat food. I made Hannah do it, my wife once. She made a commitment, and God, I don't even remember what it was. She says, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I think it was like produce a video a week for a month or something like that. And I said, darling, fantastic. Your reward, she said it. What is the punishment? What is the consequence if you don't do it? What is the... And she says, I'm going to eat a can of canned food. And it took us about 3 days for her to actually do it. But we have it on video. It's documented. So set something that is so painful, so unpleasant, so scary, that your brain, who is only driven by 2 emotions, 2 feelings, gain pleasure, avoid pain. Make this so painful, then suddenly doing these simple things is a no-brainer. Are you with me? So you set up a punishment, and then the 7, repeat. Repetition. See, the way your habits have been established to this day, everything you do was based on repetition. You just picked a certain behavior and you did it over and over until it became autopilot. The way you learn how to play golf, the way you drive your bike, the way you drive your car, the way you do most of the stuff was first very conscious. You were thinking about it, just like riding a bike first, or a motorcycle, right? Or when you learn how to ski, any of these things. First you were like thinking about everything and it was overwhelming, and it became an autopilot. Every habit like that, every ritual, every behavior that's subconscious, that's controlled by subconscious, is developed that way with repetition. So you repeat it over, you reaffirm, over and over. Now there's a lot more to it than that, of course, but this will help you get started on any good habit you want to establish, whether it's personal development, education, reading. You know me, I'm an avid reader. I read daily, love reading. I read at least half an hour a day, minimum. This is how I got started. I started small, I picked books I liked. I set up a very simple ritual. I put it as a part of my day. It's a habit now. And a big chunk of what I'm able to share with you, big chunk of my inspiration, knowledge, skills, tips, or just inspiration comes from books. Speaking of books, you know what we haven't done in a while? And I don't have a copy here. I have it upstairs. I'm a subscriber to Success Magazine. I really like that magazine. It's a monthly magazine, really well written. Lots of tips, lots of inspiration. Great magazine. They have an online version, and we also get the printed version, so I can take it with me in the morning ritual. You know what I'm saying? So here's what I'm going to offer you. For all of you who commented today, we're going to pick one person randomly. Now, don't spam the comments now. Please don't do that. Don't be a douche. But we're going to randomly pick one of you guys who commented today on live, and you're going to win, not win, yes, one of the randomly drawn person will get from us, from BORINO Productions, from me as a gift, 1-year subscription to Success Magazine. Cool? You like it? So it's yours. So I'll have Kat, after we finish today, she's going to pull all your names of everybody who commented today. And one lucky winner gets a 1 year of Success Magazine on house. It's a really good magazine, very good, very well written, very well researched stuff. So you guys like it? Awesome, good. All right. Sandra wishing me happy belated. Thank you so much for that, Sandra. Appreciate it very much. Easy says, how should we approach leads that don't get back to us either by email or phone? Excellent question. So what do? You have a lead. Let's say they fill out a form online. Let's say they can be an expired listing, whatever, any sort of lead. What do you do if they don't respond? Here's what I would say. If somebody expressed in one form or another an interest to live somewhere else, to move, to either buy a house or sell a house, yes, life can change, conditions can change, circumstances can change. But unless you know they did change, unless you're certain, I would keep following up. Now, you will have two types of follow-up. Let me, again, clear this. Was this helpful? Was this good? This is what helps me. I realize that a lot of these tips I share with you, they need to be simple. They need to be like, you look at it and go, yeah, I can do that. Because if it's 150 steps and it takes 6 months, nobody's going to do that. I know I won't. So we got to keep it simple, right? So you're going to have two types of follow-up. Whatever lead funnels you set up, remember we talked about at least 4. 4 is good. 4 is a good number. You're going to master those 4, maybe online lead gen, expireds, for sale by owners, referrals, you're good. So now they're all going to come to your CRM. Borino, what CRM should I use? It's the #1 question we get on Rockstars, right? What CRM? There are a bunch. There are cheap, there are expensive, there are complicated, there are simple, there are great, there are shitty. The 2 I recommend, I'm not getting paid by them, by the way, just a disclaimer. I'm not getting $1. I just think they're good systems. Realty Juggler, LionDisc. Look in those 2. Realty Juggler, LionDisc. Fairly inexpensive, robust systems that will help you keep in touch with your leads. So there'll be 2 types of leads feeding into your CRM. There'll be active, actual leads, and there'll be potential leads. And you need to know the difference. Actual leads are leads you had a conversation with. You had at least some kind of interaction with them, and you have some kind of an idea who these people are, what they're trying to do, how soon. My recommendation as far as how soon would be 12 months or less. My leads used to be 6 months, but it seems like the market shift right now would warrant 12 months, a good window. So somebody who tells you right now, here we are at the beginning of 2018, yes, we're going to move this year. That's a good lead. If you had a conversation with them, that becomes an actual lead. Your call to action throughout your follow-up with these leads would be, let's meet. To get an appointment. Let's get together. Then you have potential leads. Potential leads can be, let's say, an expired listing that expired. You drive by, drop off the package, knock on the door, nobody home. You try calling them, nobody answers. You email them, no answer back. That can still be a lead. You can still convert them. But the difference is they still go all into your CRM. You need one central place where you manage all these leads. There your call to action will be, let's talk. Because until and unless you have a little conversation with them where you can qualify them a little, you can get to know them a little. Are these people realistic? What is their core driving emotion? What is their goal? How soon? You really don't know who you have. You presume they're a good lead. You assume that they will list with somebody, but until you know that, you need to talk to them first. Then once you have a conversation, boom, they go into this funnel. Now, how long do you keep running it? There are several rules I'm going to give you. One of the basic ones is 5 touches minimum. Minimum 5. I would never, ever, ever recommend to drop a lead until there were at least 5 pings, minimum. Now, why would you drop them? What's the benefit of not following up? If you have an automated system that sends them an email once in a while, that prompts you to give them a call once in a while, that sends them a postcard once in a while, that's a small investment compared to what you can gain. Here's what I mean by that. One listing is very often not just that one listing. They can buy something else. Now you have 2 commissions. Within 12 months, a good client should refer at least 2 more transactions to you. If you do the follow-up, right? Like these people. You know what this is, right? This is just good follow-up. They're schmoozing with Coach Borino. That's what they're doing. So a good listing can result in 4 commissions, and if your average commission is, what, $8,000, one listing can result in 30 grand in 1 year. That's possible. You with me? So this is how you set it up. So 5 minimum. And we're going to go full color on you, because I can do multimedia in color. I'm going to circle in red. 5 minimum. What's the maximum? That's up to you. But I can't tell you how many leads I lost, how many listings, how much money I lost when somebody told me, no, we're not selling in. We're not going anywhere. We're staying. 2 months later, sign in the front yard. I'm like, fuck, there goes another $1,000. So I would keep in touch. I would keep in touch. And you start your follow-up very aggressively, lots of contact, and then you spread it out. But I would keep in touch. Yeah. So that's how you do it. That's the whole secret. Get a good CRM, get my systems, so this way you have the follow-up is organized. It's all set up for you. You can do most of it yourself. It's just going to take a little longer. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. Easy. And if you want to prune your database once in a while, you should absolutely delete people who relisted or you know they're not motivated. That's fine. Arosa says, hey, Borino, I'm in Ontario, Canada. Is it illegal to contact expireds? What other short and faster lead generation would you recommend? Arosa, I would go, and yes, you cannot contact expired listings right now. Not right now, but in Canada, you have these silly privacy laws. There are 40 ways you can generate seller leads. I actually have coaching on the Listing University I did recently on all those funnels, where you have a little spreadsheet where we break it down, pros and cons of each method. So if you're a member of the Listing University, just log in there and check out the 40 sources of good seller leads. That's what I can give you. Now, if you're not a member, join us. Come join the Listing University. It's only, we have a special right now, I think it's like $47 a month. So do become a member. Okay? Now, what I would do is referrals, number one. Most listings, year in, year out, are a result of good referrals. So you need to have a solid system for your sphere of influence. I would do, for sale by owners, I would do one good open house a week, and I would run ads on Facebook. That would be my marketing strategy. That's it. Deborah says, that sounds exciting. Yes. My man Brian, how are you doing, good sir? Can you let us know who is the author of The Path? The author of the phenomenal, fantastic book called The Path, How to Make Your Dreams, Real Estate Dreams a Reality, is Borino. I wrote that book. I wrote it, I put it together. You're going to get it as part of Path on the 29th. You will be able to join Path on the 29th. So thanks for that question, my good sir. All right. Shanshan has a question. What do you think of joining local business network groups where you pay a monthly due about $50 and have weekly meeting with the same group of people from different professions? Absolute waste of time. Have never met a top producing agent who makes a lot of money doing that. So I would not do it at all. There are a bunch of other more effective ways for you to invest your time and money. I hope to be able to rewatch this later. Yes, you will. That's a real Borino. Wow, says Deborah. Reza seems to like it. I purchased your complete program and I'm experiencing total overall, trying to engage in everything, to digest all the material and adjust my current activities to your principles. Becky, couple of things. First of all, thank you so much for coming on board. Becky got the Success Plus that comes with all the systems, the Expired Plus, the FSBORINO, the Video Plus, the whole thing. It's a full package. And I totally understand what you're saying. I used to teach this class called the BOOTCAMP. We wrapped up one in December. I would teach it 2-3 times a year. On top of that, you could get the Success Plus. And the number one comment, the number one feedback from every single one of my students saying is, it's just so much. And there are two reasons for it. Number one, you know me, guys. I want to provide all the good information for you. That's why we do these weekly get-togethers. That's why I do the videos and all that stuff. I want you to succeed. And I tell you why. I'm being very open and transparent about it. If you make money and if you succeed, you're going to pay me money. Everybody wins. Your clients win because they get a great service from you. You win because you can provide for yourself and your family. I win because I can provide for my family. And on top of that, I love when you succeed. And maybe it's just my ego, but to be able to teach you stuff that actually gets you great results, like the one from Rebecca I shared with you earlier, and a bunch of you, that makes me super happy. I love that. So I have a vested interest in your success. But the problem is, it's a lot. The second piece to that is, there's just a lot in this business. You have to figure out how to market yourself. You have to figure out how to communicate. You have to figure out how to get listings, how to do a good presentation, how to follow up. You have to figure out the legal stuff, the contracts, getting listings sold, making sure they pass all the appraisals and inspections, getting it closed so you get paid and the client is happy. There's just a lot. So I decided to come up with a new program, a new approach called The Path, where instead of dumping it all of it at you at one time and hope that I can teach you how to implement all of that, which is hard, I broke it down into 12 steps. We're going to spend a year together to get you to 50 listings in 50 weeks. That's the goal. Now, you may be sitting there going, well, shit, I just spent all this money, and now I'm going to spend more money just to learn how to use all that. We're going to take care of you. We're going to have a special pricing for you guys who are my graduates of Success Plus or who are bootcamp graduates. So you will have a special price. We don't have the price yet, so please don't ask. We're working on it. But it's coming. I promise you it's coming, and it's going to be affordable. I don't want the price to be an obstacle for you to succeed or for us not to be able to work together. So I'll make it very affordable. It's going to be less than $10,000. I promise you that. Now, with that said, where do you start? What do you focus on first? Here's what I would recommend, Becky. Start with lead generation. That is the foundation of your business. Other than mindset, there's nothing more important than your ability to generate good leads. So where would I start? I would start with the leads that are most abundant in your market. And I presume right now it's either for sale by owners or expired listings. So you're going to grab the book, the physical book, either the FSBORINO or the Expired Plus, study it first, then go online, watch all the training videos, the quick start videos, and start implementing it right away. That's your starting point. From there, you're going to start building. You're going to add more to it. You're going to build your listing presentation. You're going to build your follow-up systems. All those will come secondary, but start with good lead generation. The number one reason, other than mindset, people fail in this business, 80% failure rate. That's pretty staggering. 8 of you will not be here next year. And I know you're sitting going, ain't going to be me. 8 of you will not be here next year. We have a huge failure rate. You know the number one reason, other than mindset? You don't know how to systematically, repeatedly generate good quality leads. That's what it is. You don't have a good system that will get you the right people. You don't have a system to connect with them, to build relationship with them, and to convert them into customers. That's it. And that's why we're going to spend a big chunk of the path, big chunk of those 12 steps, the 12 chapters that you're going to get every 30 days will be on how to set up these systems. You're going to have 7 days to learn, 21 days to implement. Next, 7 days to learn, 21 days to implement. There'll be accountability and coaching and training. All that is coming. If you're curious about it, we will be pretty soon sending more information. You just go right here. GoBorino.com. Just go there. It's a simple registration package, just a form. We're not going to spam you or anything. We're just going to, we're building a list of people who are interested in this who would like to get more information. So that's coming. We have a hard deadline where the first chapter will be released. The book is already going to print. I just had a teleconference this morning, one of our developers, where we're building the back end to it, where you're going to watch all these coaching, where we're going to have the live interaction set up and all that. We also going to have, and thanks to Yuri Medrano for the tip, we're going to have a private group just for the Path students. It's going to be a small group of you guys who will be taking the Path with me, similar to Rockstars, but not as big, and it will be strictly for the students of the Path. So if you're an active Path member, you will have access to this exclusive group where I will jump in all the time, answer questions. But with that, we also have these video calls that we're going to have, the teleconferences, the support calls, the Q&As, the clinics. All that will be a big part of it. So you have complete access to me. That's all I'm going to do this year. That's my focus. That's it. Devoted to you guys. All right. So I hope that answered Becky's question. Hey, Blake, what's up, guy? Corey says, that's awesome. I finally got a chance to watch today. Great information, says Corey. Excellent. Well said, Borino, says Reza. Thank you. Adam says, hello, Borino, long-term and short-term in process. Need that reaffirming. Perfect. Perfect. You're on the right track, Adam. Hey, Dan. You're welcome. Michael says, great information. Christina says, I feel like starting small would be a great way to implement this in my day. And that's the idea, Christina. Make it easy on yourself. Now, I'm not saying flake out. The number one Borino rule, this is the rule I repeat more than anything, is do the best you can with what you have. Do your fucking best. Just really step up and deliver your best. But what I want you to do is look back at today and you say, I did my best. And if it means contacting one for sale by owner today was your best, cool, I'll take it. It's fine. Don't beat yourself up. But tomorrow, you can say, no, I can do better. I can do 2. And you commit to it, and you deliver. But if 1 or 2 or 3 is the best you can do, perfect. Be cool with that. Because you can build on that. You can build those habits. You can build those systems. You can improve the way you communicate, the way you follow up with them. All these things that you got to do, you can do. Start a little small, build, 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 build. But do the best you can. But it also means this. Do your fucking best you can. Don't cheat yourself out. This will be the year where a bunch of you will make a lot of money, because this year will be close to last year in terms of transactions closed. Over 5 million homes will be closed this year, according to our numbers. Lots of homes, lots of clients, lots of people who need your help. But what it's going to require from you is to have better systems, be more organized, and deliver more. Because the expectations of the public now are higher. The expectations of your service, your communication, all the things required from you as a top gun, high status real estate agent will go up. That's both the bad news and the good news. The bad news is a bunch of people will be out. They will just not be able to keep up. The way the industry is changing, the way the technology is changing, they will not keep up. The good news is you, if you're willing to do the work and roll up your sleeves and learn what you need to learn, implement what needs to be implemented, and you don't give a shit how you feel about something, where your preferences are not important. What's important, is it profitable? Does this serve my clients? Does this serve my business? You will thrive. You will rock it. It's going to put more pressure on you because it's going to require more skill this year. It's going to require more knowledge this year. It's going to require more discipline this year. So what worked a year ago, 2 years ago, not going to work this year. That's the bad news. The good news is you can slam it out of the park and have the best year you've ever had. It's possible. It's right there. There's plenty of business. There's plenty of clients. You just have to pay attention to what's changing. And the changes are coming. They're already happening. You've already seen it happen. Can you keep up? I think you can. And I'm here to help. That's why I eliminated everything else. And I said, okay, all I'm going to do is path. I'm going to take a small group of you guys, and we're going to work together on this until we got it. How long is the path? Is there an end goal? The end goal is when you feel like you're on the track, you're getting the results, you're done. This can be in 2 months, this can be in 6 months, a year, I don't care. As long as you're doing your best, as long as you're staying on the path with me, I'm going to stay. It's not like by the end of this year I'm going to pull the plug on it. It's a long-term commitment that I have to you guys. And I'm taking it very seriously. And as long as you're willing to do the work and take the steps, we're going to stay with it. Some of you will take off immediately. Some of you, like you, Elias, and Mike Cribbin, and you guys are, Jessica, you're rock stars. You're very close to that. Some of you will take a little longer. That's fine too. As long as you're moving, as long as you're getting results, as long as you're getting paid, as long as it makes sense and you're enjoying it, we're going to stay with it. That's the goal. Cool? Jeffrey has a question. Is anything specifically in the Listing University or Mojo tips, tricks, hacks prior to James' Festina visit? Yes, Jeffrey, there is. We did a training, and I will have to, you know what, I'll just post a link to it. There is, yeah. Derek says, good afternoon and a happy belated birthday, Borino. I'm looking forward to the path. Me too, Derek, and thank you. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Very helpful. Thank you, Borino. This is a very specific and easy way to make your rituals effective to be successful. Thanks, Borino, for your valuable tips. Mr. Joey Razzle says, hey, Avi, how you doing, sir? Okay, says, if you get no engagement, Facebook, website, other, how do you evaluate and fix? I don't want to waste dollars. Last few years, only referral business, but need more volume. I would not start with website or Facebook. That would not be my first thing I would start building. I would first set up good funnels to generate FSBOs and expireds. They're a lot faster. And in many cases, they're a lot easier. They don't require so much following up and so much competition. Yes, there are agents working expireds and FSBOs, but most of them are useless. There's no real competition you guys have. Because you're coming, you saw that comment earlier from Rebecca. What a difference. See, most agents repeat the same thing. They repeat the same scripts, they use the same approach, they've been trained by Mike Ferry 20 years ago, and they still think and hope that it will work today. They're sadly mistaken, which is good news for you. Because instead of reciting scripts and being pushy and being arrogant, you can be connected. You can have a human conversation with somebody. And they notice it, they appreciate it. That's why the results like Rebecca's are easier to get, because you don't have to press any resistance. You don't have to push against anybody or manipulate them. That's the difference. And you can get there. It's doable. It's the human approach, you know, the non-salesy approach. Make sense? So if you're not getting engagement like on Facebook, troubleshoot. If any of these systems that you're setting up, ask yourself this first. That's the first question I would ask. Is there somebody else who's doing this? Because if nobody else is doing it, there's a pretty good chance it's a shitty idea. You know, that's why I'm saying social groups like if you belong to Chamber of Commerce, I don't know any top producer who's doing 100, 150, 200 deals or more that would invest or waste their time. These are good people. These are nice people. It's just not a good source of repeated high volume of business. So don't do that. Now, something like Facebook, totally worth your time. Facebook works. A lot of agents running good ads. So troubleshoot. What is the problem? Break it down. Where is the problem? Do you have the right audience? Do you have the right message? That's it. One of those two is broken. Now, Facebook ad can be broken into two simple things. It's either your image or your copy is busted, or the target audience. That's it. There's nothing else. So either you don't have the right image, or you don't have the right offer, it's a shitty offer, nobody cares, or you're talking to the wrong audience. So troubleshoot that. Okay? Hope that helped. Thank you. Can you repeat the CRM? Elizabeth would like to know. There are two I recommend. First one is called Realty Juggler. Realty Juggler. The second one is called LionDesk. LionDesk. Check out both. They're both very good, fairly inexpensive, robust, good systems. I like them. Elizabeth says thank you. There you go. Chip, I will make this my year. Absolutely. And you totally can, Chip. It's absolutely there. One listing can bring you 2 buyers in most cases. Exactly. One listing can be worth 2, 3, 4 commissions. Absolutely is. Victoria says, just saw my holiday card. Glad you got it. Yes, thank you so much, Victoria. Appreciate it. Izzy says, thank you. What's the listing university? Elizabeth would like to know. Good question, Elizabeth. Listing university, the best I can describe it is Netflix for real estate. It's a depository. It's like a library. It's a membership site. You pay a membership. Right now, it's $47 a month, where you can access coaching, videos, downloads, interviews. It's like a resource center. We have 3 sections. Leads, how to get leads. And there are leads, the systems and coaching, how to get buyer leads, seller leads, how to convert them. All that is there for you. Overall, Listing University has over 100 separate pieces of content you can check out. First one is lead. Second one is on systems. And the third one is what's working right now, insights. A lot of the insights are interviews I've done with top producers who break down their systems they use, whether it's advertising, follow-up marketing. I have interviews with people doing over 100 transactions a year, how they do it, what they use, all that is there for you. And I constantly add new training. Like we did a role play session. Some of you were on it, right? Saturday. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that very much. So that will be posted later today. You can watch it there. So you have videos there, you have all these materials there. Now, here's the good news. You heard me talk about the Path, which will be a active coaching program that I'm launching for you on the 29th. Everybody who joins the Path in the first 30 days, that means between January 29th and February 28th, will get Listing University for free. That means you don't pay any extra. It's going to be included in the package. Pretty cool. Yeah? So that's what the Listing University is. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff there for you. Do check it out. If you want to join right now, you can. If you join right now and then later decide to do the Path, you can do that as well. Renika says, Realty Juggler is super cheap. I may check them out because that's what I've been looking for. Yeah, it's pretty inexpensive. All right, Brian says, good deal. Here's Realty Juggler. Angela would like to get more information about the Path. It's coming. We're putting it together. I had meetings with my web team. We had a teleconference with my web team. I had another teleconference this morning about the Path. We are working with a printer to get the books to you, so all that is coming. I promise you there'll be plenty of information coming. You will be able to register on the 29th. I think that's Monday, right? So that's why we're opening the registration. First chapter will be available immediately. I will be posting pretty soon. We just locked in the curriculum for the first 12 months. Every 30 days there'll be a new chapter that I'm going to release. Now, here's the best part. A lot of my systems will be updated. If you're a member of the Path, you will get that update. So there'll be a lot of cool stuff that's coming with it, okay? Nothing will be left out. That's my goal. I can't promise I will accomplish it, but that's what we're shooting for. So that makes my staff a little nervous, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. So yes, the price is coming, the dates are coming, all that is coming. Yeah, baby. The Path is a new program, or is it a book? Ready for your new product, Borino? It's everything, Joe. It will encompass online coaching, meaning every month you will get a chapter which will be a recorded training session from me, like a webinar type of a thing. There will be live sessions after that where we'll discuss that topic. You're going to ask questions. I'm going to clarify things for you. We can role play, do all kinds of stuff. Kind of like the role play session we did on Saturday. So you and I will have these sessions periodically where we're going to work together. On top of that, there'll be clinics and all that stuff. And the next month, a new chapter. And next month, new chapter. Some of these chapters will have books and materials that you will receive in the mail. Some of it will be online. Some of it will be a combination. And you can stay for as long as you want. There is no like end. Now, can you just get one piece? Let's say I just want chapter number 4. You cannot. The reason you cannot is because it's going to be built as a sequence where we have to take care of first things. So before you effectively generate leads, you need to have the right mindset. Before you can generate leads, we need to make sure your schedule is in place. You know what I mean? So it's in a very logical progression. And I set it up deliberately and purposely so that on one hand you don't feel overwhelmed, on the other you can go really fast through the whole thing. My ultimate goal is for you to do a listing a week. The program is built and designed to get you to that. Now, I really don't know, because at the end it will be up to you how fast you can get to that. Whether it's just a couple of months or maybe a year, maybe a little longer, I don't know. But we'll stay with it. We'll work on it. Because ultimately, I want you to succeed and get 50 listings in 50 weeks or more. Second part of the path, the advanced section, will be for you guys who want to build a team, who want to go to 100 deals or more. I want to help you with that as well. So the path, the book, The Path, The Mindset of Real Estate is part of the path. It will be in your welcome package. It will be the first thing, and you can only get it if you join us on the path. Becky says, I have been emphasizing on expireds. Good, Becky, absolutely. Same principles, same program, same thing. Everything stays the same. I can't wait for the path to come out and can only imagine how good it will be compared to what you've already done for us. Todd, it is, as far as the scope of the program, the largest, the most complex, most ambitious program I've ever put together. But I think I did it for 2 reasons. Number one, I think there's a bunch of you who are ready for it. That's number one. Number two, I think the market is changing and the demands and the standards for rockstar real estate agents. Now, I'm not talking an agent who wants to do 1 or 2 deals a month. That you can still do. But I think there are some of you guys who are ready to really hit the big leagues. Not just in terms of income, but the status, lifestyle, the freedom. And I want to be part of that. Now, it is ambitious. It is big. It will require my 100% attention. That's why I said I canceled my speaking engagements. I canceled everything. One thing we may do, and I don't have any specifics, dates, or content yet, but I was thinking for you guys who will be on the path, we will do like a 3-day retreat together. Sometimes most likely September, October, most likely here in DC. So that's on the drawing board. No more than that. I have no more details other than we're talking about it. We had our staff meeting this morning with Roseanne and Kat and everybody, and we are talking about that that's a possibility. But first we want to get this off the ground, get you guys in, then we'll talk about it more. Okay? We'd love to hang out with you, by the way, in person. I love doing these, not because they're profitable. They're not. They're freaking expensive to put on a live event, you know, with the hotel fees and all that. It's not cheap. But to be able to interact face-to-face for 3 days would be pretty awesome. All right. Vina says, that's me and many, many others. Just focusing on Expired Plus program is a lot. I got about 2 months ago, and I'm improving on it every day. Just got a couple role-play partners. I have land voice. And see that most of the phone numbers are do not call. So I'm knocking expireds. I need to get a listing this week. Good, Bob. Stay with it. Here's what I recommend. Recently, a couple of years ago, I have 2 kids. We have 2 kids. I have an 11-year-old girl and a 13-year-old boy. And I'm an avid skier. I started skiing when I was 3 years old. As a matter of fact, on Path, I will tell you a story how I learned to ski with my dad, which will help you become a rock star in many of the things we do, and it's very applicable. But the way we did it with the kids is we did a couple of things. They saw us ski. My wife Hannah is a good skier. I love to ski. So we said, okay, they're old enough. Let's have some fun. Let's go to the mountains and hang out. Now they love it. But the way they learned is we did a couple of things. They watched us. We got them a coach, and we put them on the slopes. Now, just like with anything else, they were not perfect the first time. They fell down a lot. And it was a little scary, and it was a little uncomfortable for them. It was something new. And you look down the slope, even if it's like a green or blue, you look down and you go, fuck, I'm going to die, you know? It looks pretty steep. Same thing with expireds. You're not going to get it right the first time. It doesn't work that way. It's a skill, it's a progression. Whatever you're learning, whether it's how to communicate with them, how to prospect, how to answer emails, how to work with any type of client, is a skill. That's going to require some progression to get to that point. And it's not like this either. Let me show you what I mean by that. If you want to master this stuff, It's just like whatever sport you learn, like when you learn to play golf or ride a bike. First, you decide, okay, I'm here, and I don't know anything. So let's say this is my expired skill. That includes my communication, knowing the system, knowing the steps and all that. So you say, I want to list expired listings. So getting a listing here, so that's a for sale sign, right? Beautiful house, don't you think? 3-bedroom, 4-bath. It's about $500,000 here in Washington, D.C. right now. You can buy it. I'm just kidding. So you're here, you're at 0. So this is 0. This is getting a listing. So you start. You make your first phone call, and it sucks. You kind of fumble, you don't know what to say, and you're like, oh, shit. So I don't know, am I doing the right thing? Is this BORINO off? So you go down. You drop in your energy, in your enthusiasm, and in your skill. Then you give it a day or two and say, well, shit, I invested $350. I better get my act together and I'll start doing it again. So you get a role play partner. You start practicing. It goes up. And you make a second call, and it's not as bad. You're above this point right here. But then it goes down again, and you go up. So it is not a straight line progression, and this doesn't take a day or two. Just like learning to ski, learning to play golf, you're going to repeat it over and over and over and over with somebody looking over your shoulder telling you, which is me, watching the videos, reading the book, coming to my seminar, to my coaching here, the rock stars and all these things, until you get a little better. And then you get a little better, and then it's going to suck again, and somebody's going to get mad at you, and then you're going to get better. And somebody says, yes, come on down, see our house, and you have a good conversation with them. And you go up and down, up and down, up and down. It's up and downs. Some of these are bruises, and it hurts, and it sucks, but if you keep going, you're going to reach that point. This is not a matter of talent. It is not a matter of God-given gift. It is not a matter of predispositions. It is a matter of 3 things: desire, the right information, plus action. That's the whole secret. Desire, where you say, I'm going to get there no matter what. The right information, you already have that. You have the expired plus. And taking action, staying on this regardless of these dips. And there will be there. I guarantee you there will be there. I want to improve my cooking. I love to cook. I know it's hard to tell. I know it's, you would never guessed it, right? I love cooking. So one of my goals for this year, one of my desires or my bucket list this year is to hire a chef and spend maybe a couple of days with a professional chef and learn how to cook better. Maybe Italian food, maybe French, we'll see. But I know that when I grab that knife and I start chopping, he'll be like, oh, fuck me. Oh, that's horrible. And I know I'm not going to get it right the first time. I know there are going to be some dips, and there'll be a couple of times where he just goes, oh, you know what I mean? But I have a goal to be better, to enjoy food better, to prepare better food and have more fun with it. So that's what I'm going to do. And there'll be dips. But I have the desire. I will have the chef give me the right information, and I sure as hell will take action. Make sense? So that's how you progress. You set a goal that's realistic. Remember what we talked about earlier. Make sure the steps are attainable. Make sure they are reasonable. Start easy. But work on 2 things. One thing that agents screw up is they do this in theory. They think, well, I'm just going to get ready, and until I'm ready, I'm just going to role play and prepare my expired package, prepare my marketing materials, and then I magically hit that point where I'm excellent. It doesn't work that way. Go out and talk to them. Screw it up, and you will. Make mistakes, and you will. It's part of these dips. That's just how it works. You got to get out there and try and try and try and try until you reach that point where you're a little more comfortable. Just like riding that bike. You know, suddenly you got the balance, the training wheels are off, and you can kind of pull it off and make a turn and slow down and speed up and go uphill and change gears. But it's a process. It's a process. Where people screw up is they give up right here. Or right here. They don't stay with it. Here's the best part, and the reason why I'm such a big fan of expireds and FSBOs and all these high probability leads. Let's say you call an expired listing right now. You have a conversation with them, you try to follow up the dialogue outline, but it goes horribly wrong. They chew your ass off, you hang up. What's the worst that just happened? You didn't get killed, you didn't die, you're not bleeding, you're not physically hurt. Emotionally, yeah, ego gets bruised a little. But other than that, the consequence is, how are you any worse off? It's not like it cost you $500 or 10 hours of your time or a year of your life. You're not going to jail. Nothing's happening. It's no big deal. It's just a phone call that didn't go the way you'd like it to. Big fucking deal. Next. Even if you screw up royally today, the best thing about working FSBOs and expireds, there'll be another one tomorrow. and another one tomorrow, and another one the day after, and then the next, and then the next, and there'll be always more. The difference is, because you're on this path, you're going to get better. You got the right information, you're taking action, you have the desire, you're going to get better, you're going to get better, you're going to get better. And whether this is going to take a week, it's going to take a month, who knows, who cares? As long as you're moving towards your goal, you're going to get there. How fast will depend on the strength of your desire, how intensely you studied information and role play, and how much action you're going to take. That's how you're going to get there. That's the beautiful thing about real estate. It's also passionate about teaching it to you guys. Some of you are in your 20s. Some of you are in your 70s. Some of you are male guys. Some of you are girls. Some of you are white. Some of you are this. Some of you are that. The cultural variety is insane and it's exciting. But you know what I have found? It makes no difference. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. You know what really matters? Your desire. How bad do you want it? You can have it. Whether you're 20 or 70, doesn't matter. You can have it. What are you doing with the right information that you're getting? How much of that are you implementing? Are you getting ready to prepare, to get started, to get going one day, maybe soon? Or are you in the path? Getting bruised and all. That's what really matters. How much action are you taking? You know how much action? Well, it depends on how bad do you want it. The trouble is, the problem I call, you guys know it already, what's coming, right, Yuri? The Toyota Corolla syndrome. You're comfortable enough not to take massive action. You got a little car and a little house and a little lifestyle, and a little commission, a little vacation in Jersey City or Atlantic City, where you're not struggling enough, like I was homeless, to really say, well, I got to get my shit together, I better get going, you know? You must want that lavish, high-end lifestyle so bad that this is just a matter of getting there. It means nothing else. Yeah? A little insight, by the way, if you screw up with expired listings. Which means nothing other than you're progressing. That'd be like me taking my 11-year-old and say, today you're going to ski perfectly. She would look at me like, are you on drugs? What the fuck? You know, it wouldn't happen. It's a progression. It's a progression you have to take. Here's the best part. You have an expired listing. You screw up the conversation really bad. Do you really think 60 minutes later they would remember you? Do you honestly think you're that important in their life, or anybody else for that matter? Guess where you can be tomorrow knocking on the door? They have no clue who you are. But what if they remember? So what? Have a conversation with them. What if you screwed up again? You're just on the path, getting better. You can't lose this game. It's impossible to lose. You know when you lose? There's only one time you lose. There's only one moment you lose. You know what that is? Can you guess? When you give up. When you give up on yourself. Not just on that listing. On your dreams. On that nice new Lexus. On that income property. On the college for your kids. On that weekend where you want to take your spouse to some nice place. On the 2 weeks in Bora Bora. On the money in the bank, credit cards completely paid off, debt-free. That's the only time you fail, is when you give up. And with that, my friends, this was a good session. Did you have a good time? Enjoyed it? Good. Now remember, one of you will win annual subscription to Success Magazine, one of my favorite magazines. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate all the comments. Sorry I couldn't get to all of your questions. We'll do this again next Tuesday. We'll be back, yeah? More seminars, more information about Path is coming. One more time, here's the URL. If you want to go check it out, just register for it. No spam or anything. We'll just let you know as soon as we have more info on it. We just locked in the first 12 topics of the Path, so the first year is already pre-planned. We're building the system for you. Would love to have you be part of it. It's going to be exciting. I'm very much looking forward to it. Thanks for being here today. Have a fantastic rest of the week. Make this year be the best year that you and I together can put together for you. All right? Appreciate it very much. Coach BORINO signing off to his brave real estate rock stars. We are almost 25,000 strong. What a great bunch. I appreciate every single one of you for being here today, for learning, for dedicating you to this industry to be a real estate rock star. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you next week. Coach BORINO signing off. Let's go get him. Bye, everybody.